When you think about retirement, you think about seeing all these beautiful ads out there, the people on the beach. You talk to your friends and they're taking the trip to Europe. But really, retirement's a lot like going to the casino. And no, it's not gambling to go and retire, but it's the fact that you only hear about all of the good in retirement and the people that are enjoying it and loving life. You rarely hear about the people running out of money. You also, when you hear about the casino, you only hear about the wins. You often don't hear about the losses. Well, my job is to make sure that you don't run out of money. So I want to give you 8 different ways to make sure that you're not doing something to ruin your retirement. If we haven't met, I'm Eric with Jazz Wealth Managers, where we don't just invest your dough. We like to educate you on your dough. So let's go through a little list here. This isn't all of them. There are plenty more. If you think of some while you're watching, throw it down in the comments. Help somebody out. I want people to make sure that they're being smart when they're retired with their money. One of the first ones is you withdraw all of your money out of your investments. So if you're withdrawing all of your money out of your investments because the stock market fell, it's a horrible decision. I've seen it happen. I talked to somebody that sold off in 2008 and decided to get back into the market, or after the 2008 crash, they sold off. They decided to get back in 2017. They missed a massive rebound. When the market falls is not the time to sell off of your investments. And so lean on somebody, talk to some people. There's advisors out there that can help you. I know of one, but we can definitely help with that, and make sure that you're just making the right decisions with your dough. Because when you sell off, it's like, well, when do you get back in? That's the biggest question. The second one is forgetting to take into consideration inflation. Now, inflation has been in our face recently with the news, but oftentimes it's not something that's talked about near as much. Generally, the government likes to keep, or the Fed likes to keep inflation around 2%. Well, 2%'s quiet, but it's also the quiet killer of your retirement. Because if you retire at 60, your dollar is not going to go near as far as it will at 80. When you go to buy that gallon of milk because of inflation, it's going to be a lot more. A lot of people are doing the math and saying, well, hey, I can retire and I can live on $50,000 the rest of my life and I'm good. But did you factor in inflation? So make sure you're doing that. Third one is you live longer than expected. This is a weird one because, as a financial planner, I'm sitting there helping people, and it's one of the hardest questions I have to ask. Say, when are you going to die? It's not really one that you want to ask people, and nobody truly knows. But you do have to think about this, because ultimately you're going to live to a certain point and eventually you're going to pass away. What if you live a little longer? Look at longevity in your household or in your family history. Talk about that. Talk to your family if your parents are still living. Anything else? Hey, when did our grandparents pass away? Know that, because that's a good number that can help to calculate how long you could potentially live, and make sure that you've got the money for that. Because I haven't seen a lot of 90-year-old people going over and taking trips around the world. Those are usually what we call the no-go years, but they're just hanging out at the house, sitting there, seeing the great-grandchildren. But at the same time, they still have to pay for the electric bill. They still have to have that roof over their head. The next one is the Biggie Size. So Biggie Size, I think that was like a McDonald's thing, right? When you upsize or Biggie Size, whatever the case is. So many people want to live the dream once they retire. They get access to this money. I've seen it happen many times where, they hit 59 and a half, they're able to access the money, they retire, and they've got $1 million. But since it's all accessible money, then they say, you know what? I'm going to go upgrade. I'm going to go buy this house that I've always wanted. I've worked for this. That's not always the time to do the upsize in retirement. Sometimes the worldly view makes you want to do that, but think about it and make sure that you're making the right decisions with your money. The fifth one is one that we hear about actually with professional athletes helping everyone else and spending all of your money. They get hit up. They're making really good money and things happen, and they, all of their friends are hitting them up. Hey, can you help me with this? Hey, why don't you buy me a car? People come out of the woodworks, they say, and want to ask you all this. What happens when that's your children, though? And I'm not saying it's your child, but some people's children, hey, mom, dad, I could really use some help here with my student loans. I don't want to have to keep carrying these. I want to buy a house one day. I want to do this. I want to do that. It's great. I want you to help your children, but make sure that you're not going to eventually be a hindrance on your children because you have spent all of your money and don't have enough money to live on in retirement. The sixth one's lack of diversification. There's crypto out there. There's all these volatile things that are out there. If you're putting all of your money in eggs in one basket, as they would say, it can get quite dangerous. I don't think I have to, beat you over the head with that one, but make sure you're not just buying a couple single stocks and letting it ride, because that can get risky for you. The 7th one is no healthcare plan. If you retire at age 60 and you have to make it to 65 to get Medicare, what are you doing for healthcare in that gap? Well, if you don't get something, that can completely derail your entire plan. You could sit there and end up finding out that you're without money because you're paying everything towards healthcare expenses, and you're not going to have anything left for retirement. So make sure you're covered there. And the last one is one that a lot of people don't think of, and it's an interesting one because it doesn't always have to happen, but this is something I usually see, and the financial plans actually take it into consideration, and that is reinvest your required minimum distribution. That's something that you have to take out of pre-tax accounts at the age of 70 and a half, 72, 73, 75. It's changed a lot here recently. Secure Act has changed all of that. But if you're not needing your required minimum distribution and the government's saying at 75 years old, you have to take this money out of this pre-tax account, pay the taxes, and then reinvest that money. The financial plan will actually model that for us and allows us to show that to our clients and to be able to help them to make sure they're doing that. But if you're not doing that, you just shove it away, or you say, you know what, that's just free money, I'm just going to go ahead and spend it because I had to take it out anyways, what may get you to a point where you spend all of your money and you don't have anything left. So those are 8. There's probably more. Like I say, leave them in the comments below. Let us know. But, it's a good way to think about it. Make sure you don't run out of dough. If you haven't checked us out, jazzwealth.com. We're here to help if you'd like.
Thanks for watching. If you want to watch more FinTips videos, click here. Be sure to like and subscribe also.